we're seeing the rising rates in India. We saw that people's lives literally hung in the balance. What it meant for our own employees, some of whom tragically died as a result of that terrible time. And yet I think we should also find inspiration that out of that tragedy, we discovered a renewed and expanded capability among ourselves, across the business community, in terms of what we can do when we come together. In that situation, we found that if we work with each other, we could marshal not only our financial resources, but our expertise, our logistical supply chains. We could get PPE and critical oxygen-related equipment. We could buy it, we could move it, and we could provide it to the people who needed it so that we could help save lives. We found that when we acted together, we could not only use our resources and our expertise, but we could use our voice. We could use our voice to reach out to governments, including in Washington, D.C., and we could persuade them to do more as well. And what we found is that when we combined forces across the public and private sectors, we had together a capability that I don't think either of us fully appreciated until it was put to the test. The other thing that we took away from that experience was a resolve that we would help not only the people of India, but elsewhere in the world as well. And so when the crisis moved to Indonesia, as it's moved to other parts of Southeast Asia, as it continues to move with COVID-19 to other parts of the world, we have said we will be there. And so many companies have been. And I think we have shown that when we do this kind of work, we can bring to life what is the best of what it means to be a global business community. And while it's nice to get an award, the truth is one of the defining cultural attributes of our work from day one has always been the resolve that we're not doing this to win awards. We're not doing it for nice news stories. We're doing it because we know that when we do, we can save people's lives. And now we can look back some months later, and obviously we're not out of this pandemic yet, but look at how far we have come. Last week, we reached a milestone. There are now 650 million people in India alone that have had at least a first shot of a vaccine. As a planet, we have 3.5 billion people who have received a first shot. And when Prime Minister Modi and President Biden met, they were able to reflect on what we, together with others, had been able to bring to the table and the difference it had made. It is that kind of difference that we're going to need to make in the future. We're going to need to make that difference across Asia as the United States focuses more on its relationships with India and with the entire Asian continent, as well as with Australia and New Zealand. And we're going to need to bring this capability to bear in other humanitarian crises as well. But when we conclude this year, we will conclude it knowing something that we didn't know when the year began. We will know what we can do when we call on the best of ourselves. That's what this award is really about. And so for me, it's not about what Microsoft did. It's not about what I did. We can all do together in the years ahead. Someday there will be an award given to that, and that will be an award worth receiving for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. And as you noted, the